I wasn't always a young thug type of nigga. You feel me? You know, he got some good sounding music, but I ain't never put him in like my top 5. You know, like if he played on a speaker or some shit, I'm about my head. I'm gonna shake my ass a little bit. You feel me? Shake a little bit of butt pussy. You wanna? My fault.
Showing DJ Khaled barely being able to play basketball. Ever since Thug got out of jail, showing a picture that says, when you find out your goat is washed. After Young Thug came home after the YSL Rico, fans expected him to make a grand return, a first day out single, an album, a tour, and even reunite everyone's favorite artists again. But it has been far from that. He dropped a single which fans laughed at for being incredibly boring, repeatedly called.
Hold on, Young Thug dropped the song, and it's incredible. I don't even know he dropped the song. Oh shit, money on money.
Calling Gunna a rat, even though Thug also took a plea deal, signing upcoming Atlanta artist 9 Victims, who was the sturdy.
Oh, you telling me that? No. This nigga 9 Vicious got signed after what the fuck he did. That cancel culture shit only works for certain people, bro. It worked for EDP. It worked for David Dobrik. And that's really the only ones I can think of like being canceled. Success, the baby. But that shit really don't work. It don't. Why the fuck was Extra Emily just in Streams University getting praised like she's a saint? Extra Emily. I saw a nigga on Twitter say Extra Emily looks genuine. Extra Emily and genuine is the same fucking sentence, nigga? Really? Really? That shit is ridiculous. Same with the Shay Frost. Like, why are these niggas here? Hold on. Wait, what? Oh, what the fuck is this nigga wearing? Hold on. You got your fucking fingers manicured and what's the word? You a flamboyant ass nigga. Fucking pretty ass. My fault. Ain't nothing wrong. Oh, shut up. Receipts of 9 Vicious exchanges with a 16-year-old girl he allegedly groomed. Oh shit.
And most recently, even later,
I ain't know the details. All I knew he was just talking.
Against Diddy. It's been a complete mess for Thug ever since he got out and is planning to drop his album next month. It's not looking too great for him. So let's bring it all the way back to the May of 2022, pretty much 3 years ago from now. Young Thug, Gunna, and 28 other YSL associates were charged in a 56-count Georgia RICO. Now of course, everyone was devastated. Thug is seen as an Atlanta legend, not only putting out hits and albums people loved, but also being seen as an inspiration to multiple generations of artists, whether it be the likes of Uzi, Carti, and Lil Baby.
Yo, I noticed something. Why the fuck niggas like Playboy Carti, Uzi, and Young Thug Next turn gay out of nowhere? Matter of fact, we'll go even deeper. I think them niggas been gay. Yep. Them niggas been gay. They just didn't know how to come out with it. Now for the niggas, whatever.
Claiming they all look up to Thug, or even this news generation with the likes of Yeep, Ken Carson, and Sofago. And the thing with Thug's career at that point in time was, even though he was already deep into the game, numbers wise he was just entering his peak. In 2019, he achieved his first #1 album,
Nigga Drez look dehydrated,
selling 131,000 units in its first week, followed up by Slime Language 2 and Punk in the following years, which also landed at the #1 position in the Billboard 200 albums chart, which completely outperformed anything he put out in the past. Before So Much Fun, Thug had never cracked the top spot or 6-figure openings. So as Thug was incarcerated, he was scorching hot, with fans expecting this RICO to make even more buzz around his name. allowing him to come home greater and bigger than ever. If he gets out and drop an album, I can honestly see him selling 200k easy. Man, the first day out track alone would break the internet. I mean, we've seen it before. When a rapper gets locked up and then eventually freed, it creates this huge anticipation as fans haven't heard anything from them in such a long time.
That's crazy. That nigga Kodak Black is locked up again. How many times have this nigga Kodak Black been locked up?
Thug and Gunna have mainstream attention, but also all the events surrounding.
God damn! It was like that. This nigga look fucked up. Golly. What they be doing to niggas in there?
The God, Thug's music being played in the courtroom, Gunna supposedly snitching, Lil Woody's theatrics on the stand. It was like some sort of TV show. And I mean, his labels even dropping his music throughout his time away, singles with the likes of Yeet, Calvin Harris and Mariah the Scientist, even dropping an entire Metro.
Didn't this nigga cheat on Mariah the Scientist?
However, none of these had that real hype or feeling, as it wasn't actually Thug dropping the music, it was people behind the scenes. And now let's move on to Young Thug's release from jail, because this is where the real controversy starts. So Thug would end up getting 15 years of probation, which many saw as a success. He is able to go straight home after facing life in prison. However, his parole had some terms that may affect how he would go about his career. No Metro Atlanta for 10 years, no contact with anyone he knows to be in a criminal street gang or with any co-defendant, except his brother and Gunna for contractual music business, cannot promote a gang on social media, no use of gang hand signs, lingo or...
Yo bro, imagine banning a nigga from his hometown, bro. That shit is insane. Hey, hold on. They caught this nigga on like a gang Rico or some shit like that? Y'all think that nigga did that shit? Y'all think that nigga actually did that shit? Cause I ain't gonna hold you. Right? Let's right? If this nigga did do that shit, it would kinda make sense. Just a little bit. Which means if he did do that shit, gonna need to have security on 10 at all times, nigga. No bullshit.
Guns within arm's reach of him, random drug screens.
0 guns arm reach of him? That they're just setting him up with that. Cause what? Let's say if he's wait, does that mean his security can't even have guns? Telling a rapper that they can't have a firearm is fucking insane. You know,
or symbolism, 0 guns within arm's reach of him, random drug screens. So that's just some of them, ones that I think would impact his career the most, because we all know a large portion of Thug's image is guns, drugs and street activity.
Hold on, nigga, relax.
Being banned from associating himself with that, everyone thought he was going to be sent straight back to jail for violating his parole, with fans suggesting he's gonna have to do a career makeover. He better start making gospel music. But most people weren't really concerned about that yet. They were just happy that the legend was home. However, his return didn't go as fans expected, as days passed after his release on the 31st of October in 2024, and fans got nothing. Some were arguing to relax, as he has just spent 2 years in a cell by himself. He probably just wants to spend some time with his family.
Damn, niggas can't go 36 hours after getting released to not dropping music? Like, damn, bro. This nigga just suffered the most traumatic shit in his life. Golly.
But then came
bro, he was about to sit behind bars for the rest of his life, and then nigga can't just sit at home chilling for 36 hours? Shit.
Severely concerned.
Y'all niggas ask for too much.
On the 3rd of November, Thug would tweet, "Let's drop one of these rats, Peter," which is obviously quite stupid, as this is the kind of vague, aggressive language
fucking
that can easily be interpreted as a violation of his probation terms. Here he is basically saying he wants to put a snitch to sleep, presumably targeting this at Gunna. Now, whilst Thug thought he was looking cool tweeting out threats like this, well, fans began literally clowning him for putting out stuff like this, when he could be called back to carry out a 15-year sentence for violating his parole terms. This fella doesn't like being free, Bro ain't making it that 15 years with this energy. And he would only continue to make it worse for himself, as just a week later he would tweet, "Gunna, stop acting like we friends on the internet, I don't know you my guy," which is of course directed at his YSL signee, who he is no longer on good terms with, as he allegedly snitched on Thug and his label after taking an altered plea deal in which he admitted YSL is a gang and needs to end. Now fans argue,
oh, he actually did that shit? Damn. And you know what's crazy? Niggas is still gonna listen to Gunna because he's dropping good music. None of that shit matters. Matter of fact, they will probably listen to Gunna over Young Thug right now if he's not dropping good music. And that's the fucked up part about it.
Snitched or he didn't.
Because he had time to warm up. You feel what I'm saying?
It's clear Thug and his people don't.
Shit kind of unfair, low key.
But that's not even the problem here. It's the fact he continues to put out tweets which don't look too great in court. He would end up saying he was hacked as more tweets were sent out, with one of them even trolling the state, saying he's in Metro Atlanta. But that may have just been a terrible excuse he came up with. But apart from playing with his freedom and even having girlfriend issues, Thug was not releasing any music. Well, that was until the 3rd of January in 2025, as Thug would feature on Lil Baby's album Wham on the song Dumb Dumb and Dumber alongside Future.
Was that shit good?
Had insane hype, as of course it was the first official Thug verse since his arrest all the way back in 2022. And I mean, the song was hard. However, people also felt the song was boring and generic. Kinda mid, feel like I'm being gaslit by all the hype. I feel like this is just a typical song like Thug and Future do well, but it just feels run of the mill. And I mean, I think we can understand what people are saying. Like, sure, it's hard, but also pretty similar to what we've gotten before, which...
Bro, he set himself up. Why the fuck are you doing features with Lil Baby? If anybody's gonna keep you in a box, it's Lil fucking Baby. Really? You wanted to get that generic accusation, because there's no fucking way.
You know, it's not a bad thing, but...
Bro, is that a goddamn... What's that shit called? Where you do the thingamajigs and it play like the beautiful ass chords? You I gonna tell me in the comments.
It was supposed to be this big moment, Thug first verse since his arrest, but it just didn't end up having that.
The fuck they got going on in the background?
After this, that Thug would begin rolling out his next album, Oi Scutty. Metro putting out tweets stating he's working on the next album, Thug announcing his first show since his release, plastering Oi Scutty on social media, with Future also showing support, and with him also featuring on Playboi Carti's music album, even though it was originally a 2021 verse from a song Thug recorded with Gunna, it still gave Thug that hype he needed, and it seemed like he was properly rebuilding his hype and gearing up to drop his first official album since his arrest in 2022. However,
I fucking hate this nigga Adam 22.
Is worse for himself, as on Twitter, Young Thug would call out Marissa Viverito.
Yo, bro, you just got out. You just got out, bro. No bullshit. If I just got released on probation, I'm keeping. I don't give a fuck, bro. Matter of fact, I'm praising the DA office. I'm praising nigga. I'm performing at the Supreme Court.
An
On BD.
investigator with the Atlanta Police Department, calling her the biggest liar in the DA office, whilst attaching a picture of her, which backfired immediately, as District Attorney Fannie Willis filed a motion claiming Thug has engaged in conduct that directly threatens the safety of witnesses and prosecutors, compromises ongoing legal proceedings.
This nigga not making that 15 years, bro.
As after he put out the tweet, people online started leaking her address, personal information, and even made threats against her. So basically, they want Thug back in jail due to this tweet. Now of course, Thug is not responsible for the action of other people, so the judge would deny the request as his own tweet wasn't anything bad. However, it was definitely on the riskier side, with the judge even suggesting Thug to be careful with what he says about certain topics. While the court does not find that the cited social media post rises to the level of a violation, it may be prudent for Williams to exercise restraint regarding certain topics, with Thug himself ending off the situation by saying in a tweet he's a good person. I don't make threats to people, I'm a good person. I would never condone any threatening anyone or definitely participate in threatening anyone. I'm all about peace and love. Now look, I just don't know why he's playing with his freedom like this. Just a couple months ago, he was fighting a case that could have got him life in prison, got out on time served with probation, and now he's risking his freedom again. I just don't understand it. With fans of
Like what? My nigga, why? I understand. Hold on. I understand you want to keep up a social media image for like the hype, you know what I'm saying? But my nigga, if you have to risk your freedom for the hype, you doing something wrong, gang. You doing something wrong. Cause nigga, again, you just got out of prison. Wait, is prison? Wait, jail. Hold on, jail is not as bad as prison, right? Prison's like the.
Just like they had with his previous tweets. Stop doing this or you'll go back to prison or jail. But not only were fans annoyed at Thug for not dropping music and risking his freedom, but for his newest YSL label signee. The YSL label has
Bro, this nigga got a fucking Louis Vuitton onesie on.
But for his
Get the hell out of here with that. Get the fucking nightgown off.
YSL label has been around since around 2016. However, hasn't had many successful artists apart from Gunna. He had Lil Keed, but unfortunately he passed away, and even someone like Young KO had potential but just didn't drop for a very long time. So now without Gunna or Lil Keed, Thug needed some new proteges, which led to him signing 1300 Saint and then the very controversial 9 Vicious, who some people call 9 Victims. Born into
9 Vicious, like bro, out of everybody you could have signed, you picked 9 fucking Vicious. This nigga. Look at how fucking ugly this bitch ass nigga is. And he a little zesty too. Let's listen to a random track. What's the most popular one? My eardrums. That shit is garbage. Garbage. Trash, nigga. Terrible. Oh, yes, I forgot, but I'll still talk to you and be your friend. Nope. Why? Like, why, nigga? The fuck?
These are the messages
and then what she say? Okay, just friends. This nigga say what you mean? Motherfucker, you suggested being her friend. What the fuck are you talking about? Fucking dummy. Braids fucking up with your brain cells. Dreads.
To a 16-year-old whilst he was 19. Now, even though
Jesus.
a 4-year age gap isn't the same as a 30-year-old man trying to meet a literal kid he met through Roblox, it's still not morally right, especially with him even admitting he will wait till she's 18. And also, this is America, so it is illegal for people of those ages to, and it continued to get worse for him. Well, he made it worse himself, as his response to these allegations, bruh, and a bunch of sub emojis. Anyways, show finna be crazy. But that's not it, as later.
And this nigga got signed, bro. Like, that's the shit that pisses me off. This nigga is about to be rich and successful, even after being caught talking to minors and not even apologizing. He about to be rich and successful because he under Young Thug's label. His album didn't sell well, but he's still under Young Thug's label.
In a song from his project Tumblr Music, he would say, "I know I effed up, I admit it, I was horny," which is a terrible response to allegations that could be career ending. And with Thug then publicly co-signing him in a tweet where he wrote his lyrics, fans would be pretty disappointed. Worst thing you've ever done. So we're just letting the group shit go, Thug? Yeah, you gotta go back to jail, man. Now, some people may use the excuse that Thug didn't know, but I'm pretty sure
he's cloned.
He definitely does, as he retweets and responds to fans often, so he definitely reads his replies. So yeah, of course, this is not a great look for Thug. It obviously won't really change people's opinion of him, but definitely still quite odd. But this is also rap, where you can pretty much get away with anything as long as people like your music, because 9 Vicious is still having a great career, considering how long he's been out for.
What's my Fortnite at? This shit pissing me off.
He even has like 300,000 monthly listeners and he's already signed to Young Thug. Anyways, after all that drama, 6 months since his release from jail, Thug would drop his first single out, Money on Money, featuring Future, Weapon and I Gotta Be the One Calling Them Friends. With Thug's influence, you would expect fans to be siding with him. However, if you check the replies, everyone's actually defending Gunna. He didn't tell. Chill on Gunna, not gonna lie, you'll both be the system, just squash it now. Gunna took a plea deal, Buddy over here called him a rat. Just for him also to take a plea. deal. Thug must have wanted to be the first fella to get that plea bargain. And I feel like the big reason of why fans are siding with Gunna is because since he was released, he's been on fire. He had a FU mean.
That's what I'm saying. This nigga had time to really drop a hit, marinate in the music industry, and warm up. He can't fuck with Gunna right now. I'm not gonna hold you. Young Thug is not fucking with Gunna right now. He's not. Like, not even touching him. Not even in the same playing field, my nigga. And that used to be a crazy take, but today that's not a crazy take, and that's just crazy to think of, my nigga.
Hot 100, a huge hit, then many hit songs from his second album after his release, One of One, such as One of One, On One Tonight, and Hakuna Matata. Now, even though some people are now clowning Gunna for putting out Get Ready With Me music, Instagram Reels music, it's working. On the 22nd of May, artist Kid Cudi would be subpoenaed to testify against Diddy about an alleged Molotov cocktail attack he carried out on his
Yo, this nigga Diddy on some Joker shit. This nigga blew up a nigga car because he was fucking with his bitch. I might have to, you know what I'm saying, take some notes, you feel me? Hold on.
Thug would step in and tweet, "Damn, Cudi a rap," which honestly felt like a breaking point for people on social media because Thug got absolutely cooked for this.
Like, what's up with this nigga calling everybody a rat?
And still got the mindset of a
Old ass man.
Damn, Thug done beat a Rico and came out lame as hell. I'm telling you, son, we gotta start acknowledging the fact some fellas just on earth to hold black people back. I mean, there's a lot to break down about this situation. Firstly, well, Cudi isn't a street dude and has never acted like one. And second of all, he was subpoenaed, meaning he was called up to court and legally had to turn up to testify. Otherwise, they would have thrown him in jail. So with everything that we have covered so far, I think we can easily say most people are disappointed with Young Thug since his release from jail. You know, it was such a big moment. The legendary rapper facing life imprisonment, got off on probation, and is ready to make the craziest return to the rap game. Just for him to give a feature to Lil Baby, a 2021 verse on a Cartier album, drop a generic song with Future, and put out stupid tweets. It's just disappointing. Personally, I thought the first day Thug got released, he was going to drop some crazy song which was going to go viral. Now, I understand why he didn't. He's just been locked away for 2 years. He probably just wants to rest and see his family. And of course, with his parole terms, he has to be careful with what he says. So I get that. But it's been like 6 months now, and to be fair, he is about to drop his album, Oi Scutty, which was actually supposed to drop in May but got pushed back, with some fans even believing it got pushed back because no one really cared about it.
UI Scooty, his return album, his first album since coming home from jail, you know, that album that everyone was hyping up before it even existed, was supposed to come out this Friday. I bet some of you watched this video.
A whole album was supposed to be dropping this Friday?
Was supposed to come out this
May 9th. Nigga, it's May 26th. And nobody give a fuck.
I bet some of you watched.
Hold on. Let's be fair. He still has to catch up to, like, the method. You feel what I'm saying? Because marketing 2 years back compared to now is completely different. And that's the fucked up thing about it. This nigga's been away for so long, he doesn't even know the method of marketing. Like, he has to relearn all of that shit. The sound, everything. But I think he got it. Just give him a year. No bullshit.
Was talking about it. It wasn't a big deal. Everyone was acting like they didn't care. It just wasn't talked about because it felt like people didn't care. Now, Young Thug has pushed the album back to June, and I think that is actually part of the reason as to why it's been pushed back.
And even though his album's not even released yet, it was already under attack after it was confirmed that 21 Savage was featuring on the project, which just had many fans thinking, oh great, another generic trap album with features from the same artists, Lil Baby, Future, and 21 Savage, which again isn't a terrible thing, but you know, with Thug, people were hoping for something experimental and out of the norm. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Let me know what you guys think. Are you excited?
Right. Isn't Young Thug like some experimental rapper from time to time? Like he's an experimental mumble rapper. Niggas not gonna like the fact that I call him a mumble rapper. Shut your bitch ass up. Listen, I will react to the rest of these videos.